The oceans cover 70% of the Earth's surface, reaching an average depth of 2.4 miles. This makes the seabed, the largest of the habitats, the most mysterious. It's an extremely cold environment, completely dark, with really low oxygen levels and with a pressure of 1,000 times higher than that of the surface. Through the centuries, the oceans have been the protagonist of a large number of mysteries and events that humanity hasn't been able to explain, from inexplicable phenomena to marine creatures that go beyond our imagination. But what would you think if I told you that there's proof that something enormous is feeding on the largest sharks in the ocean? These are 3 unknown monsters that attack sharks in the ocean. Number 3. Devoured by a monster in Australia. The large number of sightings of enormous sharks through the years have led to the speculation that the megalodon still lives. The megalodon, whose name literally means big tooth, was the most formidable predator of all times. Despite that the scientific community affirms that it is extinct since a long time, there are reports that make reference of the existence of big sharks that are about 32 feet long. Is it possible that science has been wrong? The truth is that we don't have the right answer for that question, but in 2019, an Australian fisherman found a shark's head whose body had been devoured by a much larger creature. Jason Moyes, a renowned commercial fisherman, also known as Trapman, found the head of a large shark in Bermagwis Coast, New South Wales, Australia, without knowing which monster had eaten the rest of the body. The photograph that was taken in that moment went viral on March 28, 2019. On it, you can watch how Jasper Lay, Moyes' young employee, holds the head of the famous shark that should have weighed about 661 pounds before it was devoured. In approximately 16 hours, the photograph received 24,000 comments and was shared 14,000 times on Facebook. Although none of the fishermen saw what could have attacked that animal, some suggested that it could have been a killer whale. This toothed whale is the biggest member of the dolphin family and normally weighs between 4 or 6 tons. However, other users speculated that it could have been the work of another shark species, like the great white shark or the tiger shark. As for the shark that was attacked, it was a short-fin mako shark, an efficient predator, known for being part of the fastest shark species in the ocean and for its ability of jumping inside the fishing boats. They can grow up to 12 feet long and weigh up to 1,256 pounds, so an animal of this size had been devoured by a much larger creature. What is in the depths of the waters at the south of Australia big enough to eat the entire body of a short-fin mako shark? Maybe Moyes is correct, and there's always something bigger in the ocean. Number 2. The great white shark devoured by a large creature. Australian scientists tagged a healthy great white shark about 9 feet long as part of a large-scale study about the habits of these predators. 2 years later, the shark's transmitter appeared on a beach. Analyzing the data of the transmission, the team found 2 very unusual numbers. In a matter of seconds, the device implanted in the animal indicated an abrupt descent of 634 yards in depth. Simultaneously, the temperature around the device went up from 46 degrees Fahrenheit to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. The investigators assured that this temperature can only be reached inside another living being. The probe registered that temperature for 8 days before going back to the water surface and ending up on the beach where it was found. The great white sharks barely have natural enemies, so what ate a great white shark of 9 feet long? According to the investigators, the data shows that a super predator ate the shark and then swam into the depths at a great pace to continue like nothing had happened. The temperature registered indicates that the tracker device was inside the digestive system of a mysterious monster until it expelled it. After publishing the news, diverse theories arose to explain what could have really happened. Some suggested it was a killing whale, since these animals are large enough to hunt the great white sharks. The problem is, as far as we know, the killer whales don't usually descend to a depth that low. Generally, they stay close to the surface. Besides, the killer whales nor the sperm whales have jaws long enough to eat an entire shark of 9 feet long. This way, the theory that it could have been a killer whale is clearly discarded. Another possibility suggested by many scientists is that the mysterious creature really was a colossal cannibalistic great white shark. That is, a white shark killed by some even larger white shark. In fact, they calculated that it would have been about 16 feet long and it could have weighed up to 2 tons. It makes sense. The only animal that could kill a great white shark about 9 feet long is actually an even bigger white shark. Nevertheless, the reason that led a shark to attack and devour another one of its same species is a little harder to explain. Number 1. Giant squid against a shark. Epic battles between sperm whales and giant squids are known, but until now, no one had proof of an encounter between a shark and a great cephalopod. However, a new study has revealed the first scientific evidence about an encounter between a shark and a giant squid that could live more than 328 yards deep. It all started in the summer of 2019, when the photographer Darren Verbeek found an oceanic white-tipped shark with white circular patterns on its side on the coast of Kona, Hawaii. Knowing that the scientists identified the sharks according to its scars, he photographed it. When he arrived home, he zoomed over the strange pattern and saw that it was a series of sizable suction rings. It seems that the shark had gone deeper than usual in search of food when something surprised it. Fascinated by the discovery, Verbeek published the photograph in Facebook. Yannis Papastamachiou, a shark ecologist of the International University of Florida, Miami, saw the picture and contacted Verbeek immediately. Apparently, no scientist had seen anything like it before, which is why Papastamachiou didn't want to reveal the discovery until it was properly studied. The oceanic white-tipped sharks aren't very selective with their diet, since they prey several fish species and squids. Although the silver-tipped shark can submerge to great depths, they usually hunt close to the surface, which is why the scars that the shark had in the picture probably proceed from a monstrous squid species that lives about 328 yards deep. Or maybe we have found proof that the kraken really exists. Zero Zone. A giant grouper devours a shark. There's a reason why the giant groupers or Goliath groupers are known as the ocean garbage disposals. They feed from anything in front of them, including sharks. This is what a group of fishermen witnessed during a trip while they fished away from the coast of Bonita Springs, Florida. The captain, Jimmy Wheeler, of the Everglades Fishing Company, watched how one of the fishermen captured a shark about 3 feet long, so he took out his camera and decided to immortalize the moment. As you can see, when dragging the shark to the boat's deck, a large shadow emerges from the water. It was a giant grouper that, according to Everglades Fishing Company, probably weighed 507 pounds. As soon as the fishermen get the shark close to the surface, the giant grouper attacks and drags the shark back to the water. An amazing scene. As the New Herald reports, the giant groupers are protected since 1990, with the object to avoid its extinction by excessive fishing. In fact, these animals should be returned to the sea in case of being fished. Besides, its bone structure is not capable of supporting its way outside the water, which is why they could suffer some internal damage when taken to the surface. They are monstrous fishes that, as you can imagine, don't reach its colossal size if it is not by eating anything they find at their path. Let's be realistic. The sharks have gained a very bad reputation. The stories, legends, myths, and stereotypes have made the sharks more feared than admired. They're labeled as dangerous and indiscriminate killers, capable of eating anything that's on their path. But the truth is, as has been seen, sharks are becoming more and more frequently victims of other, even more dangerous predators. Did you know that the monstrous megalodon already had some rivals during its existence? If you want to know more about these stories, don't miss our next video.